one thing in common with James Bond, and that's travel. Like me, he's one of those people who can often be found in faraway places, exotic like Singapore, Rio, or departure gate number 36 at Gatwick Airport. But it is amazing the way in which James Bond goes everywhere and seems to have no trouble at all in making himself understood to anybody.
Ah, eine gute Seite hat sogar ein Stromberg. Und wenn es nur sein Champagner ist. Dom Perignon 52.
Unsere Zusammenarbeit ist beendet, Commander.
In meinem Land pflegt man dem Verurteilten gewöhnlich einen letzten Wunsch zu gewähren.
It's not what you say. It's the way that you say it.
But wherever he is, James Bond always wins through, proving that even in the strangest of foreign lands, everything is possible if you have the skill, the daring, and the water purification tablets. Oh, and the means of getting there, however unusual.
Shake 'em up.
Handle this contraption, Q.
Goes by hot air.
Well, then you can.
Now, pay attention, please. Windscreen bulletproof, as are the side and the rear windows. Revolving number plates, naturally. Valid all countries.
Anything else?
Well, I won't keep you for more than an hour or so if you give me your undivided attention. We've installed some rather interesting modifications. Now, this one I'm particularly keen about. You see the gear lever here? Now, if you take the top off, you'll find a little red button. Whatever you do, don't touch it.
Ejector seat, you're joking.
I never joke about my work, 007. Good.
That'll come in handy.
As one that's been exposed over the years to some of the diabolical devices that modern technology has provided to espionage, that I find them generally realistic and relative to the contemporary world.
This is now being issued as standard equipment. Strap it on your wrist. It's activated by nerve impulses from the wrist muscles.
Like this?
Oh, thank you.
At least I shall have the pleasure of putting you out of my misery. Desolated Mr. Bond.
Heartbroken, Mr. Drax. Allow me. Take a giant step for mankind. I wonder where I heard that before.
One thing about James Bond is that he's very much into the high technology business, as we are. But I must admit, he's always stealing the jump on us by doing things sometime before we do. And he even managed to get a shuttle up before we did.
The wings are beginning to glow.
The most interesting thing about him is his lack of discipline, and I'm afraid in that respect, we would have to think twice about hiring him as an astronaut. There are some things that you really shouldn't do.
Houston calling Dr. Goodhead. Houston calling. Confirm your position.
We have audiovisual.
Ah, at last.
007. My God, what's Bond doing?
I think he's attempting re-entry, sir.
time to go home.
Take me around the world one more time.
Why not?
Forgive the cliche, but watch this space.
What are we doing here?
Well, right now, we're going to say a few words about James Bond.
James Bond? Great. What are we going to say?
Well, I don't really know where to start.
I do.
I'll bet you do.
I start by talking about his deep, dark eyes and the way he looks at a woman.
Wait a minute. Oh. I think I'd start with his style, his skill, his expertise, his daring.
What the? All right, you talk about that. I'll talk about his eyes.
We admire his ability to be cool under fire and his English reserve, yes. We in the colonies do admire that.